Once upon a midnight dreary. I was pondering that rather faded cliche, the devil made me do it. How that tired old phrase has been used in infinite variations to explain some cruel and irrational and benign human beings. The fear of possession by some brutal and savage demon lurks there in the shadowed cavern of our minds, along with other dreads. Fear of the dark, fear of solitude, fear of death. I imagine they all fit within that greatest of all fears, the fear of the unknown. But then I think that in these modern times there is so little left of the unknown. Is not the dark merely absence of light? Solitude nothing more than sanctuary away from a crowded world? And death, well, it is inevitable, yet there be few among us who have not led it a merry chase. But what of demonic possession? Can it not be understood through the science of psychology? But my musings continue, for if such things can be so easily explained away by enlightened folk such as you and I, what is it that we still fear about?
Well, Dad, I'd have to say that what we still fear is what we don't know. Like you said, the fear of the unknown is the great fear. It is what psychologists call the one fear to rule them all. Because when you break it down, everything that we seem to be afraid of, what will happen if the economy doesn't rebound? What will happen if I lose my job? What will happen if this happens to me or that happens to someone I love? What will happen if this world leader says that or this world leader does that, or my neighbor acts this way, or someone I don't know down the street does something else? Those all come down to the same thing, fear of what we don't know. And that fear of the unknown has not served us very well, because it's led us to believe that our safety and security lie in knowing, head-based knowing. That head-based knowing has led us to create systems that we believe will make us feel safe and secure, and to rely on these systems until something comes along, like this year, that makes us see that most of those systems actually don't make us feel any more safe and secure, because many of those systems are fundamentally broken. But this is the beautiful part. The part that we've forgotten in assuaging our fear of the unknown by relying on our problem-solving, fear-based minds. What we've forgotten is that although what we don't know often scares us, by the same token, what we don't know, those things that feel nebulous and unsayable and unspeakable and even unfathomable. This is the cool part. They always set us free. So what do I mean by that? Right now, we're all looking for something that is going to change this reality. And the fact of the matter is, if you look at the past, everything that we haven't known has been something transformative one way or another. 120 years ago, we didn't know that we could fly, let alone fly all over the world. And so now we can literally go anywhere we like, which, as we've found out, has been a blessing and a curse. Now, in the last less than 9 weeks, in a planet that is struggling with massive climate change due to the degradation of the quality of our air and waters, 17% is how much carbon emissions have gone down by us not driving and flying as much. Now everybody's saying, what's going to happen to the travel industry and the airlines? How is that going to affect the economy and global commerce? We don't know. But what we do know is that it has been a gift for the better, just as it has been something that is concerning to people whose lives are invested in the ability to travel around the world. And so what we don't know is going to take us where we need to go if we can choose not from our fear-based, problem-solving minds, but if we can learn to listen to love. And that's why I've come to believe that one of the greatest heart-centered practices to combat our fear of what we don't know is actually to invoke our I don't knows, to ask what we don't know, to teach us where we need to go, to lead us where we need to be led, but not from our heads, but rather from our hearts. Because when we listen to love, love guides us. Love is a holistic practice. It doesn't borrow from Peter to pay Paul. It doesn't disregard the effects of this in order for the gain of that. Love sees with whole eyes, and love knows already. Love has already been where we're going, even if we can't see that yet. And so instead of fearing what you don't know when that arises, ask what you don't know to lead you back to your heart and learn to listen to your heart. Because, Dad, if there's one thing that I learned from you, it's that the power of love can transform anything. What we often fear, Dad, is what we don't know. But what we love, even if we don't know it yet, will always set us free. I think you know that. So thanks for sharing this message with me, for people who might need to hear it.